Hey, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, my name's Lachlan Goldie and I'm a final year construction management student on the Gold Coast. And today in this video, we're going to be redesigning this apartment gym. So this is in the building that I live in. And as you can see, there's a fair bit of equipment. So this is kind of the basic gym setup. You know, you'd see it in a hotel, it's not that fancy. I'm going to take you through the design process of me just like measuring out what is existing here at the moment. And then, hey, we're going to use some AI, some ChatGPT to make some renders to show you guys what a final design could look like. I got my iPad here and we're going to take a few dimensions and just put them on this floor plan. So you can see the door was there where we walked in earlier. And then I'm going to just go around and take a few dimensions so we can then formalize this drawing later. Basically make it way easier to read and then go take it into some tech softwares, and later I'll build a 3D model. You can see some of the windows. I'm okay with the shape of the windows, but I'm going to put in some new window swings so you can open them up and make sure they're really easy to get some ventilation into this space. All right, so we're back from the little excursion, and I'm going to dive straight into using that iPad and my computer to get a couple of sketches properly done. So the next sort of activities we're going to do are all design based. We're going to look for some inspiration. We're going to make some proper floor plans and sections and elevations just to get a feel for what it could look like. And yeah, let's have a go. So the next part is a bit of brainstorming. So coming up with a few ideas. First of all, we've got this wall attachment squat rack at the back. So I want to basically make sure that this is going to be useful for lifting some heavier weights. Also want to have some wall memorabilia that I can just like make it more of my own. This could have some like MotoGP stuff that I really like, or maybe just like an Aussie flag, and definitely some more kettlebells. I like having a better selection of those. Would totally go for a "Go One More" quote on the wall there. Thanks, Nick Bear. Love your work, mate. Change the windows. So those window panels are fine where they are in terms of location and size, but I just think the panels that are movable or adjustable should be a bit bigger. So I want the whole panel to either be like openable, just to open up the airflow in that area, less stuffy. Wall mounted ceiling fan if we can. Built-in speakers would be awesome. I like using headphones most of the time, but I could totally get away with some ceiling speakers that just sort of, you know, play some good music. Medicine balls, get a couple of options there. Some rubber gym mats, like floor tiles, that sort of thing, would be good too. I don't like the stationary bike in there. It's just not used. Like, yes, get a real bike. You could then actually like enjoy cycling. Totally don't need that. So a little accessories shelf. When I go to the gym, it's more like water bottle, gym tablet, that'd be cool. Gym towel, hold my phone, some stretchy bands for warming up with, and imagine a little mini fridge too. This is a little dream design there, so we'll see what we can do. Extra mirror, let's try to fit that in. And if the mirror can, let's go with LEDs, just like recessed into a bit of joinery around the mirror, or something top, bottom lighting that'd help. Gym wall clock, that'd be cool, just so I look less at my watch, and if I'm doing sort of timed intervals, it's always counting up there for me. Certainly some LEDs that are just, I'm considering two designs. One's more of like a layout that has this strip lights, so they're all just along the ceiling like this. The other one is more like a hexagonal pattern, so it could look a bit like that. I think you see it in car detailing a fair bit, like they've got those hexagonal cool lights from above. And the other option is this sort of ambient lighting that comes from having a drop ceiling. This is a sectional view, so they've got this proper ceiling here, but it drops down a little bit and comes back up, and they hide their light around here so it shines up onto the ceiling above. A recessed ceiling for ambient lighting. And let's figure out, what can we go with the color scheme? I know black and white's pretty safe, but if we can add some blue to give it a bit of a theme, that'd be really cool. So let's have a look, take some of these ideas. I'll formalize this design first of all. Make sure that floor plan and all of our wall sections look pretty accurate so we can get some to scale drawings that'll start to make more sense. All right, so we've got this basic floor plan. We know that the bikes was here, the treadmill was here, rowing machine here, mirror along this wall, dumbbells in this corner. I'm just going to draw over the top of this just to brainstorm out some ideas about where I want some things now that this is at scale. And then I might just drag it quickly into 3D model it so we get a really fast iteration of this design process.
what I'm looking at is how can I rearrange the room to use this piece of equipment? I mean, it's not much space, is it? Everything's a bit tight. What about keeping the bench down here and just really blocking off this area for weights? I mean, you might only have access to one side of it to get the actual weights. Oh dear. I like this setup here that we've got going on in terms of Smith machine in this corner, because I know I just need the weights.
All right, so I think I'm happy with this design. We have worked in Techno Gym behind me just to create a few angles on our gallery that are going to make a lot of sense when we go and take them and put them into ChatGPT. So I'm using ChatGPT 4.0 just to give it the visual structure of floor plans, certain perspectives of like the camera placement within that room, and then work off our future design. So this is the augmented reality 3D model of the design. So basically this is all of the objects in the composition, and then I'm going to go to AR. So basically I'm going to start moving the iPad around the room, and I can use the iPad to get an idea of what it would feel like in this space. This would be a mirror right here, already exists, and this right here is a bit of a corner with your dumbbells and equipment. So you can kind of get a feel for how the space should be and where you are relative to the room just by using augmented reality as concept. So that's what it looks like. It looks a bit silly when I walk around with an iPad, but I'm kind of viewing how it would feel in the space, given I've just 3D modeled it all.
One of the things I'm really happy with are these renders right here are quite interesting. So I really liked how ChatGPT was able to do the hexagonal sort of ceiling system here, and it's nice LED strips, and blacking out the ceiling made a real difference to how the space felt vertically. It does seem to think that mirrors and windows are the same thing, so it just puts windows. You can kind of tell it picked up that this was a mirror on the side here. And I like these large tiles compared to the smaller tiles, and probably not going to have any of these wood cutouts. They're more for like Olympic lifting platforms, that sort of thing, not this sort of level of training space. One thing here was really cool, except for the car, it's quite funny how it did that, was this grayed out wall. It was actually quite a nice touch. I just don't think it suits the sort of lighting requirements. And I love how in the real world here we've got the small plant, but in the mirror it's actually huge, which is quite funny, and the reflection. I'm not sure how they expect that angle on mirrors to work. Anyway, these are some of the cool results that we've got out of this conversion. I might try to go back down and get a before and after photo just to show you what it's like. So this is really cool.
So it's been really interesting trying to do this project with ChatGPT to make the renders, because the 3D model is always so accurate and exactly what I want it to do. But as soon as we start putting them into ChatGPT, it starts adding elements like the timber flooring that, yeah, maybe the prompt says a little bit of this could be added, but it just puts it in the area you don't want it, and it might not look exactly as you plan. So for example, there's that, and there's this floor plan here, which is a really beautiful rendering. It's just inaccurate when it comes to this corner part. It likes straight walls, perfectly straight walls. It's not going to capture the fact that that wall is on like a 20-degree angle. It's really interesting that that's useful for getting a design palette across maybe, but less for accuracy. I wouldn't trust it for any dimensional drawings for quite a while. But it's certainly given us the opportunity to then focus on what I can do with this design inspiration and these design drawings to move on to the next phase, which to me might be a bit more of my strengths of taking the whole breakdown of the brief, the scope, the design, measuring off of what is a 3D model so I can measure, so I can then price some of the works, because I want to be able to say, oh, this design right here, this would cost XYZ amount of money. And I'm also going to build up a little program in the next video, which is coming soon. So the next video, we're going to go into time and cost to do something like this renovation, which is all part of the plan. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.